And we are live.
Hey, hi everybody, Mr. Dassey here. Hey, happy Father's Day to everybody out there, dads and fathers and whatever. And I'm having an awesome day. And I'm broadcasting from the wonderful world of Two Rivers, Wisconsin. To the right of me, we got the fabulous Becca. I forgot what part you're from because I get mixed up. Arizona. I forgot what part.
Payson, Arizona.
Okay, because I got a buddy that moved there. He's in Yuma. I don't know how
Yeah,
far that.
he's
How far is that from you?
he's way south.
Okay, and then we got the
Yeah.
fabulous and the one and only Paul Capaldi on the bottom from Scotland. All right, with the awesome dog. Yeah, he's getting up. And by the way, folks, he's getting up early, just as early as me in the morning. I get up at 5
Sometime.
though, so yeah. Sometimes
Yep.
he's on the road with his dog at 5 a.m. and ready in the morning.
Uh,
Or
it's
6.
been.
It sounds like you're getting a lot of exercise there, though.
Yes. It's great. I mean, he's quite funny because like a couple of weeks back we went on a walk at 6 o'clock and we weren't back till after midday, and then I had to get sort of showered and go off and work and do my teaching for another 7 hours, and when I got back at 7 in the after 7 in the evening, I said to Eunice, so how's Jock been? What's he been up to? She said, well,
so you're actually a school teacher then.
So I'm a what's known as peripatetic music teacher, self-employed.
Yeah.
Self-employed. I don't have I don't work at schools. Basically it's if you like, it's my own school of music. Yeah, and I go to them and do individual lessons with both adults and kids. Yeah, but the point was that when I got back and said to Eunice, how's Jock been? She says, well, he's slept all afternoon. And there's me out working, and he slept all afternoon, so he's very canny. So yeah,
he was probably bored. He was probably bored because his master is gone.
Or like me, he needed a bit of rest.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You look at it that way too. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got Ken. Hi there, Travis, and we've got Mary, and hi Shane. And we've got some other people that have.
Kim Hogan is on.
Kin.
Kin. Hogan.
Well, no, I just
Kin. Just Ken. There is Kim Hogan though.
There's Kim, yeah.
Well, I see a KIM, so I must be misspelling or something, or is Paul teasing me again?
No, it's KYN.
Well, the one I'm looking at is KIM.
Yes. We've got a Kin. Here we go. Let's pop it up. Let's pop them up.
I see the KYN. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got Kin. Hi there, Kin.
Okay.
We've got
okay.
Travis.
All right.
Travis Williams, or as I like to call him, Texas Two Counties. Also answers to the name of Walter from The Big Lebowski. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He calls me Smokey. If you've ever watched the film.
Yeah.
Smokey.
From The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got Mary.
Quite contrary. No, just kidding.
Yes, that's right. Yes. How did your garden grow? Cockle shells.
Yeah.
And with silver bells and cockle shells and maids all in a row. I think I've got that
like
right.
That.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And we've got Shane Henry.
Thank you. Cheers to you too.
Yeah. And then, as you said, Kim Hogan.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, Kim mentions you've got an awesome smile. Why would you have a smile on your face today, Pete?
I don't know. Probably five.
Give us reasons to be cheerful. Part 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drinking a little bit on Father's Day today.
Yeah.
I got a Bahama Mama in my hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, it's Father's Day. We're honored once a year. I take it in stride, and I'm having a great day. I just got in for a walk with the dogs myself, and
Yep.
Yeah. So, how's your Father's Day going, by the way?
Well, as you can see, I got my Bad Dad shirt.
Ooh.
Annual event. You know, my daughters always get me. Well, they got a few years back. They conspired to get me a shirt that was really garish, as a bit of a joke. And of course, I put it on and never stopped wearing it. Absolutely loved it because every time somebody said, "Oh wow, that's a bright shirt," I'd say, "Yeah, my daughter's got me it, so that's why I'm wearing it."
Well, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
it though.
Yeah.
it's not bad at all, is it? And they even got Jock one, although I'm not sure
Yeah.
he's really
Hmm.
delighted with having it put on him. He don't think he's really into that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's one reason to be cheerful because it's Father's Day
Okay.
and you're drinking alcohol, so that's
Yeah.
another reason to be. And I believe you were off to some cafe this morning for your breakfast
Oh yeah,
between
yeah.
between
The
9 and 1.
yeah, the fabulous Two Rivers Family Restaurant. He's got all you can eat eggs, bacon, potatoes, and you name it. And I think it's all for like $11.95 a person.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. He used to run a fish thing on Fridays, but I think he lost out on that because the fish is more expensive because they're hard.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he's got a Sunday breakfast buffet in the morning. So
Yeah.
the wife treated me a little bit. Oh, but Becca, by the way, tell your dad I said Happy Father's Day, even if I don't know him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
I'll let him know. Yeah.
I'll get to know your ma if she comes on down with you. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. It's still up in the air, but
Okay, 50-50, but I mean, if she makes it,
yeah,
that'll be awesome. Yeah,
that would be cool. Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
would be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, are we on about the rally here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rally.
So Becca, you're thinking of Mum's thinking of coming along with you.
Yeah. She wants. I have some medical stuff going on, and she wants to come and chaperone me and make sure that I don't get in too much trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that would be a very, very good idea if somebody was there to take care of Becca and keep her under control, as it were.
Yeah.
Hit the thumb then.
She has to make sure I don't get in too much ruckus. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Becca might get out of place a little bit. No, just kidding.
maybe just a little bit, just a little. I go a little wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Not for the first time.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just so long it isn't too much for your mom, because you are staying a couple days, aren't you? I don't know, a week or something. Or...
That's what, because she has her own medical stuff, so she doesn't know if she's going to be able to. Because when I drive, I don't stop, and that's
really?
the problem.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So when I drive, and she can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you said last time it took you 2 days to come down, huh? 2 solid days. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
2 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Continuously driving.
Huh?
Continuous driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, continuous driving. Yep.
Where do you find time to sleep?
When I get too tired, I pull over in like a rest stop.
Oh, okay. Just catch a cat nap or whatever.
Yeah, just catch a nap. Yeah.
Okay. But it's always dangerous by yourself, though.
Not really. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't, but like I'm so used to it from years and years of doing it that it doesn't feel dangerous to me anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. And how many miles roughly are we talking about then, Becca?
I think it's like 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From when
I think
you
it's
pointed
around
out
that.
what state you were at all the way over to Wisconsin, that's quite a few states. Wow. I
Yeah.
just thought you were a couple over. You're a couple and down. Wow. Yeah.
I'm a whole other demographic away.
I know. Yeah. Well, you made it once, so I give you kudos for making it again.
And I'll make it again. Yep. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so reasons to be cheerful. I think we've made it up to 3, but you've missed the main one, Pete.
Oh, Father's Day and.
What
did you get in the mail?
Yeah.
What did I get
from
in the mail?
From a certain somebody?
Oh dear. Hold on a sec.
You're not talking. I don't know. I got Yeah, I don't. You got to fill me in. I'm not.
You got a card from a certain somebody?
Oh yeah. You mean Carolyn? How do you pronounce it?
No, we're not
No,
on about that.
Yeah, I got something from her.
no, your
Well,
son.
that's fourth reason.
Oh
Now
yeah.
fifth
Well,
reason.
I did talk about my son's card already. I said I
Yeah,
But
love
not.
but that,
I,
that that was before we went live.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah. Well, see everybody here. Paul's picking on me. What we do is
Not at all.
what we do is when we come on a little late here, we have like a 5 minute chat,
Yeah,
and he's asking me questions, so I'm answering him there, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, okay, he's not going to answer me, ask him again, and here we go live, and he's
yeah.
re-asking me it. No, okay, yeah, I got a Father's Day card from my son. Sorry about
Yeah.
that,
No,
but
no, no. You're
but
fine.
yeah, it's got a rabbit on it, and what's up, Dad, and
Yeah.
it's very cool. You could tell he made it, and it's very awesome. So yeah, you
Yeah.
had me going there. I already said that, but yeah, that's
I
right.
know.
The live light wasn't on yet. Yeah, you got me on that one. Okay,
um,
No, no
but
worries. No worries.
okay,
but
okay.
you said that Brendan made it. You think?
Yeah. It looks like he made it or some sort. Because when you look on the back of them, if it was bought from somewhere,
Yeah.
it says where it's from and how much it is. There's no
Yeah.
Yeah.
writing. There's no writing on the back at all or nothing.
That's pretty cool that he made that though.
So I thought he made it. I don't know. It's.
Yeah, no, I mean that you're right to think that. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
actually really
I'm
impressed
thinking
because
that he
that
made it.
was
I'm thinking some sort of that he made it because usually when you look on the back of them, it says what company it's from and how much it is.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
totally blank.
Yeah.
that's
So
And
pretty
off.
cool.
Yeah. And a lot of stuff has a barcode on it as well, doesn't it?
yeah, this is nothing. It's totally
Yeah.
nothing on the back.
Yeah, so if people get to see it, it
Yeah.
looks really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give me a minute, I'll go fetch it.
Well, if I would imagine most people will be able to trace it down on Facebook
Oh, okay.
and give it a view.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I just go to Pete's face. It is on your Facebook page, isn't it? I saw it earlier today.
Yeah. It's on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I really wanted to crack on and checking with speaking with Becca just before we started. I mentioned this book,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Becca
Look at
has
this.
the same book.
She's got the same book. All right. Awesome.
Yeah. And what book is that, Becca?
Anatomy of a False Confession: Interrogation and Conviction of Brendan Dassey by Michael, and I'm bad with names, so Chinchini.
It's really bizarre. In Italian, if it's one C, it's pronounced a ch sound, but if it's two C's, it's a cut. So it's cicchini.
Cicchini.
Oh,
Okay.
Cicchini, yeah. The double C
Yeah.
is actually pronounced as a K, a k sound, but the single C is a ch. It's like my sister is Lucia, Luc, single CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what did you make? Well, what have you made of the book so far?
Yeah, I've only made it like a little bit in. I'm really bad with finding time to read these days, but I mean, I found it really interesting, and they dissect so far. I made it to the Miranda part,
Yeah.
but yeah, just to get it, he pretty much dissects his confession pretty well, and like breaks it down and about what was wrong with it and what
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to read his first book, Convicting Avery and the Bizarre Laws that
No,
convicted him?
I have
Absolutely brilliant
not.
book. Likewise, yeah. He's obviously Michael Cicchini is a practicing lawyer just down the road in Milwaukee.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, he's in Wisconsin. An excellent lawyer, and yeah, he's two excellent books. In fact, I've actually ordered up another book by him, which isn't specifically about Stephen Brendan, but it's to do with the fact that people think they know the law
Yeah.
when in fact they don't. They really don't. So yeah, here's again totally agree. It's a great book. I have both books he has written about Brendan and Steve. And of course, the interesting thing is that this book is only available in hardback because
Yeah.
originally, from what I gather, Michael was mainly writing them for to go into libraries. It's quite expensive because it's in hardback.
Yeah, the book costed me about $30, which is a lot
Yeah,
for me for a book. So
yeah, yeah. Because it's hardback, but then you do get the quality of it being in a hardback.
yeah.
I was wondering the very first chapter, the very first chapter in the book. It's very short. It's just over 2 pages. I was
Hmm.
wondering, rather than me sort of photographing it and popping up on screen, I was wondering, Becca, if you'd care to read the very first chapter, and then we can think about one or two things in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it away.
All right. Chapter 1 is Brendan Dassey's Confession. By most accounts, Brendan Dassey was a quiet, shy, learning disabled 16-year-old kid with low IQ score and bad grades. When he wasn't in school, he liked to play video games and watch professional wrestling. Granted, he wasn't setting the world on fire, but neither was he causing any problems. He had never been in any trouble or even had any meaningful police contacts before October 31st, 2005, the day that Teresa Hallback disappeared after visiting Stephen Avery's property to photograph a vehicle. As viewers of Making a Murderer know, Hallback's body was eventually found on Avery's property. She had been shot in the head and her corpse was burned. There is no physical evidence or eyewitnesses that link Dassey to the crime. Yet within a few months, Dassey confessed that he and his uncle Stephen had raped, murdered the victim, and then placed her body in the fire. It's not easy to figure out exactly what Dassey confessed to doing. It's still hard. It's harder still to determine when he confessed to doing it. Dassey was interrogated by detectives multiple times, including on November 6, 2005, in the back of the squad car, on February 27, 2006, at Mishicot High School, again on February 27th at Two Rivers Police Department, later still on February 27th at a hotel, on March 1st at the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department, and on May 13th at the Sheboygan County Law Enforcement Center. All of these interrogations, except for the questioning at the hotel, were either audio or video recorded and are cited in this book. The version of the confession that the state used to convict Dassey is roughly as follows. On Halloween of 2005, the day Hallback disappeared, Dassey had been in school. When his school bus dropped off, he started to walk down the road towards his home, one of the several trailers on the Avery property. As he walked, he looked over to his uncle's trailer, Stephen's trailer, and saw Hallback's Jeep-like vehicle, the RAV4, parked in the garage. Hallback and Avery were nowhere to be seen. Dassey went home, but a short time later came back outside. That's when he heard screaming from inside Avery's trailer. Dassey approached the trailer, knocked on the door. It took a while, but his uncle Stephen answered and invited him in. As prosecutor Ken Kratz enjoyed saying, Avery was all sweaty and full of sweat. Avery informed Dassey that he had Hallback chained up to in his bedroom and was in the middle of raping her. He invited Dassey to join in the crime, and the two of them discussed their next steps over a soda in Avery's kitchen. After Dassey drank his beverage, the two went back into Avery's bedroom where Dassey saw Hallback, restrained on the bed, still pleading to be released. The 16-year-old boy, who had never had sex before, accepted Avery's invitation to sexual assault the prisoner. Avery watched, and then Dassey was through. He congratulated, telling the boy, that's how you do it. Once the sexual assault was completed, the two adjourned to another room where they watched a little television and mulled over their next move. Soon thereafter, Avery got a knife and stabbed Hallback in the stomach. He then gave the knife to Dassey, who cut her throat. However, Hallback survived, so Avery manually strangled her, but Hallback still wouldn't die. So they carried her out of the now bloody trailer, and into the garage. Because she survived the stabbing, throat slashing, and manual strangulation, Avery ramped up his efforts. He got his rifle and shot her 10 times, Dassey said, finally putting her out of her misery. Avery and Dassey then put Hallback's body in the back of the RAV4, but only temporarily. They soon took her body out of the vehicle and put it in the bonfire that Avery had already started before Dassey arrived. To dispose of Hallback's car, they drove it to the very edge of the Avery property and placed it high up on a ridge. At that time, Avery went under the hood of the SUV for reasons unknown to Dassey. The two then placed some tree branches on the vehicle in a half-hearted attempt to conceal it. Avery and Dassey walked back to the scene of the crime, where they cleaned up the garage and burned Hallback's clothing. At this time, Dassey also saw that Avery had placed the contents of Hallback's purse, or at least her camera and cell phone, into a nearby burn barrel. The two then went inside Avery's trailer, where Avery put Hallback's now famous RAV4 key into his dresser drawer. According to the state, Dassey had no problem living with his crimes, at least for a while, but eventually the guilt gnawed at him. His young relative, Kayla Avery, told investigator Mark Wiegert that Dassey was crying a lot and had lost weight. This pointed Wiegert and fellow investigator Tom Fassbender in Dassey's direction, resulting in multiple interrogations that produced Dassey's eventual convoluted confession. But there were several problems with the state's confession evidence. First, much of it seemed impossible on its face. Second, when diving into the details, the story seemed less plausible, even impossible. Third, a much bigger problem was that Dassey's tale was contradicted by all of the known physical evidence in the case. Fourth, the story was even self-contradictory in that it changed on major points from 1 minute to the next. And fifth, the biggest problem of all is that Dassey didn't actually provide details that made up the confession. Rather, his interrogators provided them and eventually convinced Dassey to agree. How could this be? The answer, on some level, is simple. Wiegert and Fassbender interrogated Dassey using strategies, tactics, and tricks that were known, though perhaps not by them, to produce false confessions, particularly when used on young, learning disabled, and highly compliant children. The bulk of this book, parts 2 and 3, will use plain English to expose and explain these tricks of the interrogation trade. It is important to keep in mind that these are indeed tricks of the trade. That is, Wiegert and Fassbender interrogated Dassey the way most police investigators are trained to interrogate their suspects. And what happened to Dassey happened to others, including many adults, on a regular basis in Wisconsin and throughout the country. But before we start exploring interrogation tactics and false confessions, the next chapter discusses just how lucky Dassey is to have able to mount to a meaningful challenge in his conviction. If Hallback had disappeared just a few months earlier, and if everything else had played out as it did, Dassey would have had no shot whatsoever of winning his freedom. You're muted, Paul.
Yeah, because I wanted to to not interrupt. And going to that final bit first of all, what was so special about Brendan's interrogation that gave him a shot? Well, it would have been the fact that it was recorded on video.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. But I want to go back to the early on. He said, Michael Cicchini points out, what did he actually confess to, and when did he actually confess to this? Do you know?
Wait.
I mean,
which time?
Well, no. As in, Michael raises a really good point, because he says, what did he confess to? A third paragraph. It's not easy to figure out exactly what Dassey confessed to doing. It's harder still to determine when he confessed to doing it. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, because it just doesn't make sense. And when it's presented, the way it's presented there, it really just it just beggars belief, doesn't it? That these two trained investigators think somehow that is a confession. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because he never provided any details whatsoever. He was just He was just providing back what they gave him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Pete, you're sat looking at that, and listening to that. I mean, your thoughts on that opening chapter?
If that has anything to do with the interrogation in the school in the schoolroom there, yeah, that's no confession at all. That's the cops telling him what to say. That's the way I look
Well,
at it. Brendan never
yeah.
confessed to anything. The cops told him what to say. He said it, and it's actually the cops' fault for telling him to say what. Oh, he shot her in the head, and Brendan didn't even know about any gun or anything shooting. So you can
Well,
see it right there. Yeah.
that's what's so important about the first few interrogations up to March 1st is that they actually gave him all the details
Yeah.
up to that, and then the March 1st one is him basically regurgitating it all.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
But
mean,
yeah, the
yeah.
thing with the thing with the knife and the blood, I mean, it's pretty hard to hide blood and everything, and I nothing of that stuff makes any sense. I mean, the blood, the knife, there's even no body found. I don't,
Well, they couldn't even find the knife. They didn't even find the
yeah,
knife.
yeah, and that was a pretty big knife, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
apparently. But that's what we were just doing a live this morning about the post-conviction stuff, and that's one of the things that they even pointed out to Len Kaczynski while he was on the stand is that there was no physical evidence supporting anything that he said in these confessions. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing at all.
that's a good show, by the way. I tuned in a little bit when you were on this morning. I heard
Oh,
you
thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, that was awesome there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's there's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah. Nothing, no DNA. Today, the proof's got to be in the DNA, and not I
Yeah.
don't know. I just, it's just like the Twilight Zone all over again.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, I take it. You've often said that the police said to you, tell Brendan to plead guilty,
Yeah,
and then to obviously to plead guilty, and therefore to go in the witness stand in Steve's trial and try and present this story. I mean, I take it you never got the chance to really discuss with Brendan any of this, did you?
no, just that a couple times he said that they made him say all that stuff. So he wanted to get back to class, and they put it in his head, and I believe him because he's not that kind of. He's not a troublemaker. He's like me. He's not a troublemaker. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, we understand exactly why they went after Brendan. It was
I
purely because he was Steve's alibi.
Yeah, actually they went after all my boys.
Yeah,
Bobby, Blaine, and Brian. They read them up and down, but them guys said go fly a kite. So,
yeah,
so I'm just saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it. And yeah, they just picked on the guy that that was slow and everything, and yeah, they picked on all my sons. So yeah, I heard that from them guys, but they mainly just stood up for themselves and said go fly a kite, in other words, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
in theory, Bobby or Blaine could have been just as easily been in
Yeah,
Brendan's position
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because they were on the property that
yeah.
day.
Well, actually, Bobby is right now, according to some
Yeah,
person
yeah,
that saw him at what 15 years after.
yeah.
It's like that key thing too. Oh, they found her key for the RAV4. Only one key. A person has more than one key on their key ring. Come on and tell me. Name who. You got to have one for the house. Where's the house key? Yeah.
Hi,
yeah.
Barb.
Hi, but you know what? You've mentioned the key. I mean, what's really laughable
Yeah.
here is
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
this crackerjack detective Andy
Yeah.
Colburn in a previous search spent an hour and a half searching that cabinet. What
Mm-hmm.
on earth was he looking at?
Maybe there was a
I mean,
removable. I know.
Could you spend an hour and a half
Well,
searching a cabinet?
I can make a joke about men not finding things, but
Oh! There's the mute button for Becca.
I got a theory to it. If it was a removable panel, the shelf rolls up, and on the seventh thing, he moved up the shelf, and there it was. Okay.
Or
go ahead.
Or like that one guy, aliens put it there.
Yeah, there you go.
God, what's the name of that Calumet officer?
Oh, I can't remember.
It's great, isn't it? How sometimes when you have an interest in something, how the mind remembers things. His name is Daniel Kulcharski.
Okay, yeah. I'm awful with names, so I can't remember anybody's name.
Yeah, me too, Becca. I got to talk to people about 5 times before the name sinks in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Yeah, I think it's a combination of, as you say, he was trying to find the perfect place to drop the key, and I think also the other problem was he spent an hour and a half searching the bookcase when 5 or 10 minutes would have been more than ample, but he was just waiting for Tyson to just look away for a wee while, but of course Officer Bill Tyson.
Yeah.
He was the one that actually took the job seriously and was keeping an eye on them. But Kucharski was quite happy to apparently just sit on the bed and have a look around and see what's going on while these Manitrock officers do all the searching. Does it ever amaze you that often when we look at this case and you read things or you talk about things, and it sounds comical, and yet this it's such a horrible injustice that has been done. And yet we can sit here and kind of laugh about it. It just beggars belief, doesn't it?
I'm laughing at the loose ends. I mean, I know it's serious. Don't get me wrong. I'm just laughing at the loose ends. Like, where's the knife? Whatever happened to all the blood? Oh, they must have ripped out the rug and put a new rug in. And all that stuff, it's
just
it's serious.
Yeah, it's a very serious thing. But the fact is that is that it's ridiculous the amount of things that they did to get to convicting Stevens. So that's what makes it laughable, like the way they found the key.
Yeah, under the removable panel.
Yeah.
yeah.
Aliens put it there. Like, I can't.
7 times. I mean, if the key was there all along and they should have found it right away.
Yeah, right laying there right next to the shoe. Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah. I mean, I read yesterday, I think it was, the 100 questions that Zellner posed, and it really did strike me that the 100 questions came out before Making a Murderer Series 2, and just about every question that she asks in the 100 questions, she basically explains how false the state's idea is, Ken Kratz's idea is, but by the use of all these experts. It was like reading through the questions sort of post Making a Murderer Series 2. You could see exactly what the contents of you could see how it related to what we saw in Series 2. Somebody sent me a comment and said, somebody had asked who the woman was the so-called TV presenter that was so against Stephen Avery. Nancy somebody, I said, oh, that's Nancy. Disgrace. Yeah.
Oh, is that the girl that had another talk show or something like that?
Well, she was a former prosecutor, wasn't she? She was a prosecutor, and
just for like a hot minute. Just for a hot minute, I think she just was for a few years.
Oh,
and then she became a commentary.
She had a loud mouth. I saw her on TV. I turned her off right away.
Yeah.
She always reminds me of Pete. You'll remember this. The Wacky Racers. With Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Oh yeah.
And, the cartoons,
Yeah,
and you had
yeah,
Peter Perfect and the Hair Bear Bunch and the Anthill Mob
yeah,
and the
yeah,
Arkansas Chuggabug. And can you remember Penelope Pitstop?
yeah, yeah.
That's who
Uh,
Nancy Grace reminds me of, Penelope Pitstop.
yeah,
That's funny.
that
And
it is.
and and and, and the thing is that she was a former prosecutor, disgraced because of her antics as a
Hmm.
prosecutor. Um, and and I believe, and I mean, we're on about a proper book here. I believe that she actually wrote a forward for Ken Kratz, didn't he? Ken Kratz's book.
I think
She actually
so.
wrote,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she also engaged in some exchanges with Sheriff Herman when Making a Murder Series One first came out.
Hmm.
To sort of extend the sort of the hand of friendship, and say, oh, you guys will get over it. Well, to a certain extent, I suppose, because it's now what, over 5 years later. People might say, well, what's happened in the case? Nothing, and yet we've been through so much. It seems like that there's been such a lot done in this case. We know that every bit of evidence against Steve is false. We know that there's no evidence against Brendan, and we now know, and this was most significant just recently, is that certainly in Illinois they're going to stop lying to teenagers in interrogations.
And Oregon.
You know, and Oregon, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I
Oregon
think
just passed something recently, so that's awesome.
the same as don't lie to. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
about the
that's
same.
great.
Yeah, but it's a for Oregon. Yeah, interrogators cannot lie to people under 18, I believe.
Yeah, or as they like to call it bluffing, as if it's some sort of friendly thing, but it's
Hmm.
not. It's, you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to keep you guys much longer because we're nearly at the 40 minutes already. Would you believe?
Well, it's just
14.
what is that?
Nearly at 40 minutes already.
Oh.
Um,
Oh,
no, no,
yeah.
no.
Time flies when you're
I I
talking to. Time
I do
flies. Time
want to
really flies.
I do want to say though is that because I know a lot of people are saying this in chat is that my opinion is that Bobby is not guilty. So
Yeah. What is that Kim West saying? I don't understand that part.
Well, the thing is for me, right? I don't know, as a lot of people don't know. Bless her. I don't know even Barb. I mean, nobody can keep an eye on your 18-year-old son
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
know what he's been up to.
Yeah.
And what I would say though is that unfortunately for Bobby, he's put himself right in the middle of this by getting up on the stand and
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
he saw, he saw the RAV4, no sign of Teresa, when in fact previously he said, well, it can't be Steve because I saw her
well,
leave.
my
Yeah.
understanding is
Yeah.
that the police also pressured him to say certain things while
Oh
on the
yeah,
stand.
yeah. And one
So
can imagine what they used as leverage.
Yeah.
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 So I have full I fully believe that the police basically pressured, manipulated, and pretty much forced the whole family into saying and doing things probably that they wouldn't normally. You know,
Yeah.
the police definitely had an agenda and manipulated the whole family.
Yeah.
And you're right, Paul. You're 100% right. I'm not out there. I mean, there could be a slight, chance that
Yeah.
things like that did happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable to me, but I mean, I guess it is possible. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know, but
I agree with Nan's life. I believe it's a mistaken identity of
yeah, it could
someone
be.
who fits the
Yeah,
description, but
yeah.
it's not him.
Well, like look at Steve in the first place. Mistaken
Hmm.
identity on the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
We all stuck up for him at the yard when he left with the time he did, and the cops called us liars, and I knew wasn't him in the first place. But like you're saying, Becca, yeah, mistaken identity. Maybe this is too. But why does it take 15 gall darn years to come out and say it? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, in fairness to the guy, apparently he tried to get in touch, straight away, and was told, oh, don't worry about it, we've dealt with it. And to be honest, there's connotations with Penny Bernstein, who had issues with the fact that the sheriff's department were going after Steve, and said, are you sure you've got the right person? And the police department are saying, are you sure you've got the right person? And Kasurk saying, look, we're in charge, leave it with us. And this is the thing, when you were talking about, the fact that they're putting pressure, they're trying to put pressure on you to tell Brendan to do something. Yeah. Who do you turn to in a situation like that? Who can you turn to and say, I'm not happy about this. These investigators have come to me and have said I need to persuade Brendan to plead guilty and to do all this.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. We don't know exactly what the police threatened or have done behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So, and like, what are you supposed to do when the supposed good guys are the ones doing this?
Yeah, well, as I've said many times, it's not like you can call the A-team, is it?
Yeah. I wouldn't know either, because like you're supposed to rely on the police to protect you, and
Kim, I understand. No problem. I'm not mad. It's just that it's just another boy going down with the other boy. That's all it is. No problems. I'm not mad. It's just that I just wish the things would turn around and go to court again and have something real come out of it instead of make believe stuff again. Because I've been in the Twilight Zone for 16 years now, and I wish it'd be over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Definitely.
I like the show. There's some weird stuff on that show on TV. I like the show, but I don't like being involved with real Twilight Zone. Just to make it a little humorous. But you're right. Yeah, mistaken identities happen all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think it's kind of bizarre though that anybody thinks that they can, for example, that they can say to Steve while he's in prison, basically get Kathleen Zellner back off. That's like red rag to a bull, isn't it? I mean, she's just going to go at it even harder if somebody's saying, just leave such and such alone. It ain't going to happen, is it? You're just sort of drawing attention to that person even more. I think that's it's going to go the way it's going to go, and so Zellner is going to continue to pursue this. We're obviously waiting at the moment for this Court of Appeals to come up with a decision. Personally, I think it'll go back. It'll be remanded, and I think that the terminology of their remanding will be even more sort of, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that the Court of Appeals through Paul Riley will say not just it's been remanded back to Shuygen to Kukovic for a possible evidentiary hearing, but it's remanded for an evidentiary hearing, and you will have an evidence. And apparently he has the power to do that. To say to Kukovic, okay, you've messed about. You're going to have an evidentiary hearing, and that would be brilliant.
And finally, at the end, this comes about to the end, and who knows? Maybe finally the truth comes out, and we might be shocked. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, look, the one thing I would say about the suspicion on Bobby and Scott. The one thing that troubles me is give me a motive.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't think
You know,
Pat or Bobby have a motive at all.
and
They have about the same motive as Steven and Brendan. You know what I mean? There's no motive.
yeah. You know, it's not difficult. Look at the ones who stand to benefit most by Steve being
Yeah.
arrested. You know, who managed to dodge the depositions? Kasurik and Vogel.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, um, anyway, that was very very lively debate. Pete,
Yeah.
as I say, you know, we're not here to sort of pick on Bobby or
No,
Tadic. You
Yeah.
know, we're not here to do that. We're here to, you know, to support Brendan, to have a chat with you about Brendan, and, you know, the latest news about him, and, you know, the fact that it took you about 5 goes to remember that he sent you a card. Listen, I'm not going to bring that up again, okay?
okay.
Because I did kind of lead you down the garden path on that one, you know.
Yeah.
But
If
you
you
know,
guys want to see what I'm getting ready to fill out my slip to go see him. This is what a slip looks like.
wow.
Yay!
Did you want to put that on the big screen so somebody can see it?
Yes, I am going to
Okay.
do it. Just
Okay.
that. Bear with me. Bear with me.
This is
So
what
you
a
have to.
form look. This is what a form looks like. Yeah.
Uh,
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got him in hand. I got him in hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I know he's so
Okay.
excited to see you too, Pete.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Did they send that to you, or did you have to reply to that?
Oh no, I got a stack about this big. When you go
Oh
and see
wow.
them there, when you go and see them at the door where you come in, you can help yourself. And then what I usually do is fill them out before I get there, so then when you show your driver's license and that, you can present it to them and it's already filled out. Half the people are
Yeah.
filling them out there, so they're going like this. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always
Oh
like to be
wow.
one step. I always like to be one step ahead.
Yeah.
So,
Smart.
so,
Yeah,
That's
so you,
smart.
I got about a stack. Well, actually, I got 5, but we ran some off up on the copier upstairs. So that's
so do you have to fill that form every time you visit?
yeah, yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then if you got to bring in a person, let's say me and you, or let's say if he offers you to come and we both go and see him, I put
Yeah.
my name. Then you got to put your name, and you got to have your driver's license, and you got to put
Yeah.
where you're from, and
Yeah.
so
I would love to go and visit Steve and Brendan, but I would find it virtually impossible to not bring them back with me.
I know, right?
yeah, I
You
know.
know what I mean? It would be,
Real.
you know, you wouldn't want to say cheerio, would you?
No, I mean it's very nice when we first get in there, but then when they call your names that that the visit is over, it's very sad because he's not leaving with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always sad on the leaving part.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well,
That
um,
would be where I cry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, I
Like I
know
know you
Becca probably
mentioned
is right now.
you mentioned that people cry when they first see him. I'd be crying as I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. You mean you wouldn't be crying the first when you
No,
first
I would
walked
be
in the
so
room?
happy and laughing
Oh,
and
okay.
like hugging.
Okay.
No, but it's when
Okay.
leaving I would be
Oh
crying. I
yeah,
would be.
yeah, yeah.
You'd have to
Yeah.
carry me out.
There you are.
Because I would be
Okay.
very, I would have a hard time leaving.
Okay. Yeah, I've
yeah.
seen people cry on both occasions, so
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
So
he's a very powerful man.
yeah,
yeah,
have you got a date in
yeah.
mind for when you're going to go and visit him first time?
Oh,
This
I
will
don't
be for a
know.
while.
I know the visiting starts the 6th of July, but
All
no, it's
right.
still kind
Okay.
of up in the air. You gotta I don't know. You gotta have you gotta give them a couple weeks notice now and stuff. So we'll have to see how that all plays out.
Okay. Dokie.
Um,
Listen,
Nan,
sorry, Becca.
I was just gonna say Nan's life. In the past he used to be able to have out of state visitors, but I don't think he's allowed them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing I love that Portage, right? He had people out of state coming and visiting, and it was just and it was June, and it was just pretty good. And,
shy of it.
Yeah.
The last rally, actually, I was supposed to be having a visit with him, but they canceled it like the day before.
Yeah, I know. I heard you were telling me that. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, really. That actually was really. That was hard.
Yeah, and Shane, Henry, to your question, yes, the birds are doing really good. They're finishing their nests now. They're laying eggs. There's people asking me about the martins. So.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Becca and Pete, I'm going to shut up and let you two close the show as usual. I'll let Becca go first.
Oh, thank you everybody for tuning in to watch the Moose, Pete Dassey, me, and Paul Capaldi, the three Mooseketeers. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, thanks for everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Love everybody, and happy fathers to the fathers out there. And have a nice week coming up. It's supposed to be a little cooler over on our neck of the woods. I don't know about yours, but the humidity is supposed to stay down. So hey, thanks for watching, and we'll be back at the same bad time and same bad channel next weekend.
Everything they said. Everything they said.
What is